Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camp Report show, we are going to talk to a member of the Wandering Individuals Network that we heard about the big group last week. Now we're going to talk to individual members. Go ahead. How about you?
Interesting. I've got a exciting interview with a fellow named Sam Shapiro, formerly with SpaceX, who has founded Grounded RV to make electric RVs on a unique platform. And they recently have been acquired by General Motors. So
Oh,
it's the small entrepreneur and the big corporation, and how's that going to get together?
I got to hear that because we get our news on topics like this from where? Where do we get them?
RV Business with Rick Kessler and Campground Woodall's Campground Magazine with our friend Ben Kriegel.
Yep.
Couldn't do it without them.
Yep. And in this week's news, we're going to talk to members of the Kenny Rogers Band who are coming. Actually, they won't be wasting away, but they will be at Margaritaville. And we're going to talk about this unique RV activity, a world-class band at an RV park.
At an RV park, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Okay, we'll be back with more right after this. Hey there, RVers. We get it. Your insurance and warranty needs are as unique as your travel destinations. That's why RVer Insurance has teamed up with Wholesale Warranties to cover all the bases. From health insurance to RV coverage and warranties, we've got you sorted every step of the way. With a solid track record in providing top-notch health insurance and affordable RV insurance options, RV Insurance has you covered. And for those unexpected repair bills, look no further than our friends at Wholesale Warranties, leaders in reliable coverage and customer support. Start your RV protection journey today at rverinsurance.com or wholesalewarranties.com/rverinsurance. Hey, everybody, it's John DePietro, and we want to thank you for joining us today. It's a very special show. Bob Zagami, we've got some very special guests, don't we?
We do. This is a great way to start the day, and it's got some great news for Kenny Rogers fans. And I'll let you introduce Chuck, and then we're going to go from there.
Well, you just introduced Chuck.
Well, no, I like to do that. I like to step on your tongue before we turn it over to you.
Okay, you just did. So anyway, as you might be able to tell, in addition to our RVing life, which is there, we also are bringing you something to do with those people right there. And if you look closely, you'll see both of those guys in the picture. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Capitol recording artist Chuck Jacobs, take over.
All righty. Well, listen, we represent the Kenny Rogers Band featuring Don Gatlin. So when Kenny passed away, even before he passed away, we had talked to someone about, we wanted to talk to someone about maybe doing a tribute show to Kenny, and so as it happened, Don gave me a call and said, Chuck, I worked 66 shows opening up for Kenny, and it was just a natural. I was thinking it would be a natural for me to sing the songs of Kenny's songs and with you guys and have the actual original Kenny Rogers Band do shows. So we talked about it and we got together and just did a sort of a test rehearsal to see what the chemistry was like. And it worked out great. So it was a natural that Don would become and join us to be the new singer on the front. And Don is a consummate sage performer and engages the audience and really gets it going. So it's a great show. And we're going to be in Auburndale at Camp Margaritaville on April 19th. And Don, I'll switch it to you and let you tell a little bit about your experience of working with us.
Don comes to us direct from a funeral parlor just outside of Pittsburgh.
That
is not right.
He's going to watch the Pittsburgh Pirates this afternoon.
That's right. Going to go see the Buccos here in just a few minutes. Well, hello everybody, and again, for just how life is so crazy. I mean, like Chuck said, I just wanted to meet Kenny Rogers. He was my favorite singer. Actually, Chuck, our first show with y'all was the Niagara Falls, 11,000 people, and the Seneca, is it Seneca
Yeah.
Casino?
Yeah,
It was
that's right.
11,000 people. I mean, what a way to start. It's like, what? It was really a thrill. It just kept going. And Kenny, but the whole band, not just Kenny, the whole band were so hospitable to me and my bandmates. It's a dream which doesn't normally happen. It doesn't always happen. The opening act doesn't always get treated as good as Chuck and the fellas and Kenny treated us.
All right.
So it should be pointed out that this show is totally different than any other shows because Don, you're not trying to word for word say what Kenny said on the show, but
Oh no, no.
Or imitate, you know.
word for word and note for note. I mean, didn't Kenny
I'm
say?
just a huge fan. I'm just a huge fan that he's such an influence on me as a singer. And people told me that my whole life. They said, "Man, you sound a little like Kenny Rogers." And I've never tried to. He was such a big influence on me. When you're a little kid, you're singing with your hairbrush. You're like we all did. I'd have the Gambler album on. Yeah, I mean, when you're a little boy,
That's true.
I was singing my
It's
hairbrush.
the only microphone we had.
Exactly, and I'm singing to a Gambler album. I put my Gambler album on, and I looked down, and I was a big liner notes nut. I mean, I wanted to know every player, every writer.
Yep.
I've always been that. I'm still that way. And I'm looking down this record. I see this name Chuck Jacobs on bass on this Gambler album, and I'm going down there. Yeah, I said, well, of course, when I was 9 years old, I had the vision I'd be working with him someday.
Yeah. So Bob Zagami, you have seen this show a couple times. You've seen Kenny and you've seen Don, and it really is. It's a phenomenal show. It's not a tribute show because these are the actual people that that recorded with Kenny.
I use the tagline, "We're not a tribute band, we are the band."
The band.
Exactly. And
you're right. And that's a big thing for people to understand that it is exactly what you had before, person for person, note for note, and Don fits right in because you're right, Don. Your voice is amazing in this scenario. You don't try to be somebody else. You're Don Gatlin, but you're singing Kenny Rogers songs. And
I love the music. I love these songs.
Yeah.
And I love Kenny Rogers. The thing is, we are, in one way, we're copying Kenny. We're trying to put on a great show like that great entertainer he was. That's one thing we are copying. We're trying to go out there and blow people's minds.
Yep.
With the thing is, if you're a Kenny Rogers fan, like we all are, and that you're going to love the show because we're going to take you down memory lane.
Well, that's right. It's not just, that's the point. It's not just the music. It's the stories that you tell, which Kenny used to tell. That's what made his concerts so great. You were sitting at the bar for a beer in his living room with a cup of coffee, and there'd be a song, and then there'd be a story, and you've built that right into this show, which I think is
thank you. And if you're a casual fan, here's the great thing. I want to suggest to everybody: if you're a casual fan of Kenny Rogers, he likes you like him, but you want to go see a great show, even if you're not a fanatic, a fan like I am. If you just want to have a great time, that's why I'm very proud of the show too, because you will have a great time, even if you're a casual fan. It's going to be great for anybody, and all ages. There's some ideas we have in there that really brings in like every decade. I mean, we play some of the first edition songs before the guys, and then we play all those wonderful hits that the guys played with Kenny all those years. But we have a few surprises that we've added, and we're continuing to grow as a unit, singing and working together.
There will be bars available at the show that night, and we're hoping that even after the show, we can move over to the Thrill Chill bar or something like that. It's an absolute beautiful.
The License to Chill bar is the one that's on the water at Camp Margaritaville, but they also have a gigantic tiki hut.
That's right. Complex. That's right.
But let me go back to Chuck for one quick second. Chuck, one of the things that has lived on with Kenny Rogers is, and some people, I guess, may not understand it if they haven't followed his full career, but we're talking about 6 decades of music. And the first edition and Kenny Rogers and his first start. And I think this is kind of like a revival for a lot of people who may not even have known Kenny Rogers and his music, but they hear it for the first time. We're seeing it come about now with Elvis all of a sudden because of the movie, and all these people are finding Elvis and they're saying, "Hey, I want to learn more about this recording. I want to learn more about this artist." Do you see that coming to be with this tour of yours and getting around the country as you now talk to more of the fans on a direct basis? What do you think about that?
I think you're right. What I've noticed that is so rewarding is that you would think that our audience is, 50, 60 and up in age. But in all reality, it's amazing. We see people that are 60 or 70 even, and then but we see their their offspring, like their daughter, let's say, and then their granddaughter,
Yeah.
because the parents would have played Kenny's songs in the home, and then the children would have become fans as well. So it's always fun to meet people that say, well, my grandma turned me on to Kenny Rogers and I've loved him ever since, because the songs themselves are timeless.
You're right. Yeah.
I get to travel all over the world still. I get to headline cruise ships to what different things I do. And it is so unbelievable. And just, I get to see it in real time. Um, Everyone knows who Kenny Rogers is all over the world. He should be, I mean, Kenny's, I'm, if he didn't realize it, he should be so proud of himself because like he put the work in. I mean, there's a lot of country artists in Nashville that have great careers, but they're completely unknown in the rest of the world. I have my Kenny Rogers shirt on and in Barcelona, and I'm running the beach, and these young college kids stop me, go, Kenny, where'd you get that shirt? I go, well, I was telling the story, and they were like, we love him. They were college kids in Barcelona, France. And that's just one story. And that happens to me all over the world. If I'm wearing my Kenny Rogers, the Through the Years shirt, people come up to me all over the world and want to know how I got this shirt.
Ask you for free tickets.
John,
Yeah,
speaking about all over the world, and Chuck, maybe you can speak to this. I even saw or heard, probably the last few months, the revival of We Are the World and the impact that it had on music at the time and Kenny's involvement with that.
Yep.
But with the world situation today, they ought to re-release that song.
You're right. It had a dramatic impact, and of course, that was the intention, and
Right.
it achieved it in spades. That's for sure. Speaking of different adventures around the world, I did write a book called 40 Years with the Legend, Kenny Rogers. And in that book, I outline just the stories and backstage stories and adventures that we had traveling all around the world, playing venues like Carnegie Hall.
But, everybody's talking about writing a book. I happen to write a book. You don't have to be perfect to be great. And so much of the book is based on what I learned from the Kenny crew about being loyal, but looking at life for the long run and doing things for others. You say, what's that got to do with a concert? Well, the people that come to the show were very, very loyal fans. I mean, they were coming, people like Don said, I brought my grandkids to the show. I bring my grandson to the show down in American Music Theater and absolutely loves it. And my granddaughter's coming next week. So we should tell people that this venue is absolutely perfect. It's an intimate building. It holds about 1,000 people.
Nice.
Get your tickets. They're almost sold out. But it's a remarkable campground, and it's part of the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville empire. And you know what? I know the campground is sold out, so you can't go camp that night, but you can buy tickets for the show.
And we're opening our show, John, with an awesome Kenny Chesney song, just to get the crowd fired up.
That's the way it should be. That's what.
John, I think John will put a link to
Inside joke.
where you can purchase tickets. John, you'll put a link,
Yep.
right?
Yep, centralfloridatickets.com. But I'll put that right down there. But our 3-minute interview was going a little bit longer than we expected. But I just want to tell people, even if you don't get to this show because of distance or time or whatever, you need to find the time. You're out in like next week? You're in Pennsylvania,
Michigan.
Oh, in
This
Michigan, okay.
coming week, we're in northern Michigan.
Michigan.
And the week after, we're in Margaritaville there
Yep.
in Auburndale, Florida.
Yep.
Yep.
In,
And I know you
in
got some
June,
Vegas dates.
in June, we'll be in New Mexico. And in July, we'll be up by Don in Pennsylvania.
Yes, Beaver, PA,
Wow.
July
When,
13th.
when are you going? Are you doing Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
13th, 14th, and 15th at the South Point
South
Casino
Point.
in Las Vegas. And we've been there a couple times, and so it's a return engagement. We will always enjoy going there.
All right.
And I'm getting nervous, Chuck, because I just collaborated with the Righteous Brothers, and they said they're going to be in the front row at the show now.
That's right.
I'm now
Yeah,
nervous.
You're out there on occasion.
But what's
Of
the
course.
new Righteous Brother? Not Hatfield. I mean, not Medley.
Bucky Hurd, he's awesome.
Bucky, okay.
He is awesome.
And of course, Bill, they toured with us for about a year and a half. So Bill is a very close friend of ours.
They love you guys. That's they really do. They've got some great stories with you guys. Maybe we'll get them to tell one.
You know, not to belabor that point, but the point about treating the opening acts well, Kenny had. It's not only Kenny, but he made sure that everybody that philosophy ran downhill to everybody, all the crew and everybody, because that's the crew. And his way to look at it was that the way the crew treats everyone on the tour is the way it's remembered. It's not how Kenny treats him, because Kenny doesn't interact with everybody all the time, but the crew does. And the way they treat everybody is the way it's remembered. And we heard your story, Don, and from many times they said, you know, we were treated the best we'd ever been treated on that tour, from you know, having time to do a sound check to, you know, eating with everybody in the meal before the show and everything. It was always a family atmosphere. And
it trickles down, because I remember the Oak Ridge Boys saying the way Kenny treated them, they wanted to treat their opening acts like that. It all trickles down. I'm serious. I want to say one more thing about Margaritaville. We are so pumped. This venue is incredible. I cannot wait to be there. We're going to put on a special show. This show will be not like any of the other ones we do. I promise you. We got some surprises for everybody. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, and
that's
John,
why I was just that.
Before you hit the end button there, I know a lot of our RV community know about your background with Kenny, but a lot of people are going to see this tape that is saying, who the hell's the guy up in the top left-hand corner that's not really saying much, which is very unusual. Let me tell you, folks, very rarely do we have a video this long with this little comment from John DePietro, right, Chuck?
Well, that's true. And to give you a little history on that, John started coming around to see us in Worcester, Mass.
Right after he got out of prison, wasn't it, Chuck? Right after
I think so. No, I was on work release, Don.
Yeah, and John worked at a radio station in the area, and so he would come over and to the shows and doing promotions for the radio show, for the Kenny show in Worcester, Mass, at the Centrum.
Oh, nice
arena there, and we did that almost every 12 to 18 months. So we became, regular friends, and so that we've known John for now over 40 years,
That's scary.
So that's pretty neat. So John now has in his quote unquote retirement, I think he said he's busier now than he was when he worked, but in his quote unquote retirement, he's partnered up with Bob to do the RV show. And he does that, I think weekly, right? Every Wednesday,
a couple times a week.
And he enjoys driving around in his RV. I always look at that and think, oh, that'd be fun. And then I stop for a second and think, wait a minute, how many years did I do that on the bus?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Blood check. You still want to get an RV.
The ultimate RV. Right.
We have about 10 seconds left before our friends at Zoom are going to shut us off here. So let's just say it's going to be a great show. And I'm going to hit the end record button right now and say, see you at the show. Attention all RVers. Say goodbye to roof worries and hello to worry-free travel with RV Roof Magic. This revolutionary liquid butyl roof coating is specially formulated to protect your RV from the elements, to extend its lifespan and prevent leaks. With simple application and outstanding results, RV Roof Magic is the go-to choice for RV owners seeking superior roof protection. Don't let roof maintenance issues hold you back. RV Roof Magic is the only liquid butyl rubber in the world that offers a one-coat, no primer coverage and a 10-year warranty. Visit rvroofmagic.com/RVLife and extend your roof another 18 to 20 years.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Camper Report Show. And my guest this morning is Sam Shapiro, the founder and owner of Grounded, a new RV manufacturer. And Sam, give us a little bit of history of yourself. I know you get some interesting engineering background and how you came to be Grounded.
Sure. Yeah. So so before starting Grounded, I was at SpaceX working as an embedded software engineer on Starlink satellites and Wi-Fi routers. So part of SpaceX. And before that, I was living in New York and I worked in advertising technology as sort of a product engineer. So I was building new product lines in programmatic digital advertising. And then in 2020, while I was living in New York, COVID happened and everything shut down, and we all went remote. And so I wanted to do some traveling still and work remotely and find a way to kind of do that sustainably. And I started looking into RVs, and I never was an RV person growing up at all. I really had never even been in an RV. But I started looking at them as a way to travel and work remotely during COVID. And I was pretty disappointed by the products that I saw on the market. None of them really met my needs. And so, I ended up building my own camper van in 2020. But since then, that's really what planted the seed for me of, hey, there's an opportunity to make a more modern, innovative product.
And something more responsive to today's marketplace and the awareness of electric vehicles. Conceptually, it looks like a fantastic product. Talk about the chassis that you're building on and the unique modularity of what you're going to make for people.
Yeah, so the chassis of the G2 is the Bright Drop. So it's a GM platform. It's a 270-mile range electric cargo van platform. And we have a modular interior system. So basically we let customers customize the interior layout. So sort of like Lego blocks, you can choose from a menu of components which ones you want. Do you want the outdoor shower or the indoor shower? Do you want the closet? How much bench seating, which size bed, and you can sort of choose like where all these things go. So I think customization is really important for this market because it's a big purchase. It's like buying a house. And so that's kind of the approach that we chose as opposed to just sort of one set floor plan. And it's actually reconfigurable over time. So if you can buy it in one configuration and then you have a life change, you have a kid, you want to change a bench to a twin bed or whatever it is, you can actually make changes in the future.
Well, it's a great concept, Sam, because as you know, the diversity of people using RVs now, especially with the accelerated growth of the industry following COVID, we have everybody. I mean, this is a vehicle that could be used by a college graduate just wanting to run across the country and see everything and everybody, to a mature couple that maybe used to have 40-foot diesel pushers and big gas, units, and they say they still want an RV, they still want to go out and visit people. They drop down, they still have a quality build, and they move over to sustainability. And I think that's the hallmark of what you're bringing to the marketplace, along with your engineering stuff. So let's talk about the sustainability a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that largely people want to go camping and RVing to enjoy nature and embrace nature and the outdoors. And there's, a bit of an irony with, when you're kind of burning your diesel generator, at your campground type of situation. So, so the kind of mission of Grounded is, enjoy nature without harming it, right? So, So I think, I think the sustainability piece is important to the brand and the story. I also think it's not enough, to just say like the main difference is sustainability or electric. And that's sort of why, we have these other product innovations like the modular interior, and then our smart mobile app. So you can remotely monitor and control everything inside the vehicle from the grounded app. So you can see how much solar is coming in, the battery state of charge, your vehicle range. You can turn appliances on and off remotely. So you could be finishing a hike, and turn your hot water heater on, from your app so that you can take a hot shower right when you get back. And then on the sustainability piece too, we're building kind of intelligence into that app so that we can tell you how much solar you're generating and how much, what your power usage is, right? So if it's a goal of yours to, reduce like electricity consumption or generate more from solar, like we enable people to, to have more insight into their own behavior with the vehicle and more control.
Lot of thought process went into it. Talk a little bit about the marketing of the product. Are you selling it direct? Is it being delivered now? Where are you in that stage of the company's growth?
Yeah, so we've delivered. So yeah, so we're still a very young company. I mean, I started the company 18 months ago. We just launched the G2, what's in your background there, in October. So it's only been, 6 or so months since we launched our flagship product. And right now we're direct to consumer. We've shipped the first few vehicles. But over time we want to expand and we want to grow. And we're certainly looking at different ways and different sales channels to do that in the future.
Where is it coming in terms of the suggested list price? And what can a consumer look at in one of your custom bills?
Yeah, so our sort of, MSRP, if you will, is 195,000 with the G2, right now. And I think it comes with most or all creature comforts you'd find in any great RV. So it's got, and more, quite frankly. So it's got 1,000 watts of solar, which is pretty significant, on the roof. It's got a 10 kilowatt hour house battery, which is also much bigger than most RV house batteries. It's got Starlink. You can actually see it in the picture there on the roof.
I see it.
So that's for high-speed internet, no matter, and it's permanently mounted to the roof of the vehicle. So no matter where you are, in the mountains, in the middle of nowhere, you can get high-speed internet. It's got the option for, an indoor shower, full wet bath, toilet. We offer 3 different kinds of toilets, depending on which type you want. We can do up to 50 gallons of fresh water, queen size bed, ample storage, bench seating, and then in terms of the vehicle platform itself from GM, the Bright Drop, it has all modern safety features and driver assist and all that type of stuff. So yeah, great vehicle and lots of creature comforts inside.
Is the vehicle now being marketed to other markets like delivery vans or small units? Has the Bright Drop, I haven't seen that particularly advertised in general, but is that also coming to market at the same time as you're introducing the RV version?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So GM, with this brand, Bright Drop, they're bringing it to market as a mostly B2B delivery van platform. So they are selling lots of these kind of bare platforms to FedEx and companies like that, just for the purposes of delivery. But of course, like I saw that vehicle and I was like, I think actually like a lot of people who have seen the Bright Drop, thought to myself, this would be an awesome RV platform. So we're the first, Grounded's the first company that has sort of done this with this platform. And it really is a great RV product. It's really, really spacious inside. It's 24 feet long, exterior length. And it feels almost like a class B plus. So it's a, it's because like the walls are vertical. I mean, we really optimize like every square, cubic inch of space inside. So it's quite spacious. It's a great size. It can fit in a normal parking spot, width wise, and that was intentional by the GM team. So yeah.
I think, well, that was one of the things that got me excited about it. I think the fact that number one is GM, but number two, they're in mass production. So the adaptability, the adaptability and the adoptability of the platform will be significant as they improve it in years ahead. But you can feel comfortable working on a very solid platform from a solid manufacturer, and you can focus on the needs of the clients that you hope to approach. And with that, who are you targeting a specific group of potential RVers, perhaps new or veteran RVers? In the initial release of it, who are you going after and how are you going to market the product?
Yeah, so I actually was a bit surprised, like pleasantly surprised by the diversity of interest we've gotten since launching the product. So I think I sort of had in my mind, who the target was. And quite frankly, it was like people like me, right? Like I had never owned an RV before. I have a passion for electric vehicles. I have a passion for the outdoors. I, you know, before starting this company, I had a job that I could at least sometimes be remote. And so that's sort of I think that I am part of a growing you know demographic or psychographic of people who are really becoming interested in these types of vehicles for the first time. I'm a millennial. Like I said, I'd never been in an RV before. And I think there's a lot of people out there, like me, and who maybe would use it for remote work as much as we would for just vacationing. But that being said, we've had people of all kinds and all ages express interest.
Well, well, you're right about the market because we've seen when you look at the growth of traditional Class B motorhomes and camper vans are really hot right now. A lot of those are gas or regular small diesel units. But we also have come into a situation where the country is recognizing the benefit of the outdoor experiences. The industry has what's called the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, and that's a group of associations that deal with the outside activities. And motorhomes are in there, and trailers, and boats, and bicycles, and motorcycles, and outdoor gear. So they're actually bringing in a whole new audience to it. I think there's a lot of people who currently are in the RV lifestyle at all different age groups, but I think the potential for this product to bring new people into the RV industry, I suspect that's probably what got you more excited than just a bunch of RVs that are on the road today.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's both for sure. I mean, Rivian, their truck,
Yep.
um, at least for some period of time, I don't know if this is still true, the majority of purchasers of the Rivian pickup truck had never owned a pickup truck before, right? So they're bringing, exactly like you said, new people into the pickup truck market rather than mostly taking away
Yep.
market share from the gas-powered pickup trucks.
I agree. And look at our guest this morning has been Sam Shapiro, the founder and CEO of Grounded. And Sam, I want to thank you very much. I know you had a busy schedule there, and any kind of time you have a startup and an entrepreneurial venture, it's more important that you pay attention to that than me. But I'm glad to have it. I'm glad that we can present it to our fans. This will be posted on Friday. And I want to thank you very much for joining the Camper Report Show.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Everybody, we are here in Bushnell, Florida. We're at a Winnebago event. We're talking to our friend John. And John, you travel with another group of people that is very interesting, makeup of people. Tell us about that group.
It's called Wandering Individual Network.
WIN.
WIN. It's the WINS group. And it's a group that's been organized and been in existence for about 40 years.
40 years, okay.
And what it is, it's a group that basically allows people who are, have self-contained RVs of some sort.
Yeah.
Everything from vans to modified vans to Class A's. It allows them to be able to travel in what they call a circuit. And the circuit can run anywhere from a week to a couple months. And you could, what's nice about it is you can sign up for a circuit and you don't have to stick with them, let's say if it's extended
The entire time. Okay.
You can jump in and out, or if it's coming through your area, you can travel with them, and when you got to change, you go back.
Okay. So, name some of the places that you've gone with this group.
Well, I've just gone to. I've been a member for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't traveled with them yet. However, I've gotten to know people who are involved, and I will be leaving here, heading to Texas for a 7-day meetup for the eclipse.
Oh, okay.
West of Austin, so we'll be in the area of the totality of the eclipse.
Okay.
And then I will be traveling up to north of Seattle by Bellingham and going to Alaska. Now that circuit will be about 81 days.
And that is with the group?
With the group.
With the group. Now you say wandering individuals, these are people that are traveling solo?
Solo.
Okay. No specific brand is necessary, like this group here, you're either, you're with a Winnebago product.
Right.
But all brands are welcome.
All brands, it's just basically, it allows people who are independent, single, and they may have not ventured out and done something like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boondocking, and so it allows them to have people to travel with.
And security.
Security.
And companionship.
And community.
Community, that's the best word.
And so it allows them to really kind of grow in their own independence. A lot of people dream about taking off in their RV.
Retiring and seeing the country.
Right, but they don't necessarily venture out. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm going to be joining more of their circuits coming up because I just retired 6 months ago.
Tell us what you did.
I left Michigan, went to Montreal, Quebec, out to the mouth of the St. Lawrence Seaway, went all the way down Quebec, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Isle, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, and all the way to Key West.
Yeah. And we're in Florida now.
And I'm in Florida now.
Occupation-wise,
I was a dentist for 40-some years.
Okay, so you're done. Your days of drill, fill, and bill are done.
Correct.
Okay, and you're going to have some adventures on the highway.
Yeah.
How about a website? Does they have a website or a group?
It's called, and let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Because they have different ones based upon your membership. Do you want to take a pause? Sorry.
It's all right. We're good.
If you want, one website is Wandering Individuals Network. Individuals has a S, it's plural.
Plural, yeah.
.com.
So if you're an individual, you can't be plural. Only kidding.
Right, but it's most. And I can tell you the upcoming circuits, they're going to do a 3-circuit that's going to be in California, Arizona, Mexico. That's like a 3-month, but you can come and go. They're doing southern Utah, the big 5 parks. They're going to do another maritime circuit this summer.
Fall, yeah.
And so they've just completed a big Florida circuit, and that's where I met some of the people because my situation was such I couldn't join them. I was taking care of family.
Yeah.
And they tend to do it so that it's affordable.
How much do you pay for the event, or do you pay for your lodging or hookups? What?
The membership is $120 a year for the membership in the club,
which is
and then you pay a fee to join the circuit, which isn't substantial.
Yeah.
And then because somebody has to plan where you're going to go, where you're going to stay, where you're going to boondock, and so you pay a fee for that knowledge. Then you just pay for your camping and activities
On your
along the
own.
way. And it's a group that does lots of tours, bicycling, kayaking, and hiking.
There you go. Active group.
Active group. And there's people in the group from probably in their 30s. I think the oldest active member is 84.
All different socioeconomic
All over the place.
backgrounds as far as prior work experience.
Yeah,
et
it's
cetera.
it's definitely a diverse group.
But not a retiree, not necessarily a retiree. group.
Not retired, and that's why it makes it good, because if a circuit's coming close to you, you could join it for a week or two.
Cool.
So it's
There we
not
go.
just all full-timers.
There we go. Wandering Individuals Network.
Correct.
Thanks so much, John Smith. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.